Namaste. The spiritual process, whether it be that of Gnana Yoga, that is self inquiry or Advaita Vedanta, or Bhakti Yoga, or Karma Yoga, or Kriya Yoga, or Raj Yoga, whatever it be, it basically involves one fundamental rule. That rule is that of going beyond your human mind and entering the divine mind. This divine mind can alternately be called consciousness or awareness. So at the end of the day, it is about transcending the human mind and stationing yourself in consciousness. Transcending doesn't mean obliterating or eliminating, it simply means becoming the master of your mind rather than its servant. It doesn't mean that mind or rationality doesn't serve a function. It just means that mind or rationality is not running the show. There is a beautiful sentence which says that entertain the clown and you become a part of the circus. This is very interesting and it can be interpreted in multiple ways. One of the ways it can be interpreted is to consider this clown, to map it to your mind, in a certain sense, even to your ego. As long as we live in a way wherein we give predominance to the mind and to all the processes of the mind, which involve conceptualization, general thinking, general worrying, then we are a slave to the mind. A higher process is that of higher reasoning, which is Gnana Yoga, applying the faculty of the mind so as to destroy it, applying the faculty of the mind to turn inwards towards the self. That is a better use of the mind. However, the best space is the space of consciousness or awareness, which involves just being the silent, changeless observer, being the eternal witness of all phenomenality, of all that is happening. This eternal witness is beyond the mind. This eternal witness is the conscient self, the consiring self, the conscious self, the cognizing self, the self that is aware, the self that knows, the self that sees, the self that observes. This mode of observation is diametrically opposite of the mode of thinking. Though thinking can also be observed, but still observation stays one level above thinking. And that is its beauty. It doesn't involve the mind, it actually involves the no mind. It actually involves awareness. And from the space of awareness, then the mental faculty can be involved. You first become conscious and then you can think about things. But consciousness is fundamental. If we make the thinking faculty fundamental, then we cannot enter the realm of consciousness. To enter the realm of consciousness, we need to go beyond the thinking faculty. What the thinking faculty does is it entraps us because it is all about duality. It is all about this and that. It is all about black and white, good and bad, right and wrong. It separates the two. It doesn't see the two as mutually complementary or mutually reinforcing. Doesn't see the two as one, it sees the two as two. And as long as we see the two as two, there is no resting from duality. There is no freedom from duality. So the thinking process, through its concepts, always catches us within partiality, within a partial picture. We never get to see the full picture. The partial picture, by definition, is not the full picture, and hence it is not liberating and it is entrapping. The more we think, the more we require to think. The more we try to find solutions through thinking, the more we go away from that non thinking original essence of ours. Trying to resolve everything through thought, trying to get enlightened through thought, trying to be in self abidance through thought is like trying to pull yourself up by your boots. You got to bend from your waist to pull yourself up by your boots. And that, as you can see, is a self defeating exercise. How can you bend yourself and try to pull yourself up? That is how, when we try to get enlightened or when we try to liberate ourselves, when we try to crack the code of self abidance through the mind, we get more and more caught up. Once you entertain the mind will come up with a dozen new questions. You entertain those dozen questions, you'll come up with 100 more. Mind requires to be constantly fed, and it is one of those beings that you see, those Draculas that you see, that keeps popping up with more and more heads every time a few heads are killed. So you entertain this mind, this clown called the mind, and you become a part of the circus. What is the circus? It is something ruled by the clown. It is the clown who is the chief protagonist of the circus. And so the protagonist of Maya is mind. And every time you indulge in the mind, you try to resolve through the mind, you do anything about your problems or about your liberation through the mind, there is a great chance that you are only getting entrapped further and further. The polar opposite is the dimension of consciousness. When you station yourself there and silently, changelessly observe, when you witness the entire show, regardless of the fact as to what the mind is doing, when you witness the mind in all its monkey mannerisms as well, that is when you really crack the code of enlightenment. Think about this. And thinking about this could be an activity of the mind. So while you're doing that, also witness this mind so that you stay above it. Thank you.